can outwork it. You know, like whatever circumstances you in, you can outwork it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear all that.
All I'm hearing is relentlessness. I hear perseverance. You know what I'm saying? Persistence.
That's a fact.
Do I cut this off? You know what I'm saying? And I just cheat them in full glory. Like they had the best ever in their life.
If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then the goals become the sacrifice.
Yeah. You goddamn smearing the ranch on ranch. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I should like doing that. I like one of the Dover, clean that, go another one, put it there too, mix it up.
Nah, that's probably indicative of some mental issues that
crazy man.
I would definitely bathe in between.
Double dip in the meeting, man. Yeah, when you cut out vices, it takes you to a whole nother plateau in life.
What it does is it gives you room, like space, both mentally and just like actual real tangible time.
Break down the calculator of the women and the money and the goddamn, you understand me? Like that was. Have no fear, Mr. Organik is here. This is Organically Speaking. Anybody out there want to do partnership, sponsorship, clothing brand marketing, you know, water, energy drink placement, whatever you want to be a part of Organically Speaking or Mr. Organik as a brand, hit me up at ballernothingelse@yahoo.com. That's my email, or DM me directly at Mr. Organik on Instagram. That's MR Organic with a K instead of a C, one word straight across. And we're going to get that promo game through the roof. 3, yeah. Have no fear, Mr. Organik is here. And listen up, guys. Here at the Organic Studios, we only have one of the individuals in the building. And today we do have one. It's a fellow superhero, like financial guru, just a mastermind, physically, mentally, monetarily. He's one of them ones. I know y'all seen him everywhere. You know, he goes by King Keto, a.k.a. Brandon Carter. How you feeling, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
Hey, you're welcome, man. I appreciate you. When I first came to Miami, I ran into you. Was at Bosher Gym.
At the gym, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's the King Keto, man. What's up, brother? And it was a good, cordial understanding. So I was like, man, this is where I want to be. Because like-minded individuals, you know, just congregating around like, yeah, Miami's for me. So that, I ain't gonna lie, like me running to you and, of course, Wes and everybody else that day, I was like, yeah, Miami for me.
Yeah.
So I looked at condos that day.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and I came within
a week. From Cali.
From L.A., yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro. I just want to get into it, bro. Like, everybody know you, but let's start from the seed, like your upbringing and where you come from to be the man you are today.
I come from South Side Chicago, right? So I grew up over there, and, you know, its reputation speaks for itself, you know what I'm saying? And I got sent away to military school when I was 14, like for high school, because I got in some trouble, you know, regular, you know, skipping school, fights, shootouts, you know what I'm saying? Chicago. Yeah. And they sent me away to military school. And from there, I'm trying to think of how I want to tell the story, because there's a lot of different angles, because I'm old, man. It's like a long story.
I just hit 43, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
We were at the same age. I'm 42.
Yeah, we young old.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them.
But it's like, you know what's funny, man? So it's like, I grew up in the South Side of Chicago. I got sent away to military school. My dad had his own business the whole time, right? And, you know, he was struggling, trying to figure it out, you know, while I was young. You know, he ain't have a high school degree. He was an orphan. He ain't know his parents, none of that, right? And so we grew up like super poor. But I went to military school. I got sent away. And what happened was when I was in high school, his business started to take off, man. This is after like 16 years, right? Like 16 years of hard work. Like most people give up after year one, month one. Of course. You know what I'm saying? But he kept at it for 16 years and then it started to work. And by the time I graduated from high school, the homie was making $3 million a year.
Man.
Yeah. But then, and adjusted for inflation, this is like 2000 when I graduated. So adjusted for inflation, that's about $8 million in today's money.
Easy.
Yeah. So then I went to college, right? I went to Howard University.
Okay, dope.
Right? And by the time I graduated from college, he had lost all the money. And not only did he lose the money, he was like in debt, and shit, right? Because he used the money to put down payments on shit, and he had big overhead. He was a bunch of debt, and then he killed himself.
No.
Yeah. So even though he had got rich, I didn't experience any of it, right? Because I was gone.
Right.
You know, I knew it happened, right? And that's the key. Like I knew it happened.
Yeah.
But I didn't, you know, I was still a kid. I didn't experience, but I knew that he did it, right? So he killed himself when I was like in my early 20s, right? And I was like, damn, I was 24 exactly. And it was right before the recession in 08.
Yeah.
So it's like the family's all fucked up because he left like a big like financial mess.
For
I had to
sure.
take care of my mom, my sister, my sister's kid, like help support my grandma. You know, I'm like the man of the house as a
Right.
young man, right? And I got to dig us out of this hole that we in. And make matters worse, the economy collapses. Like these young kids, they don't understand. Oh wait, they be complaining about today's economy. I'm like,
no clue. Right.
Yo, the unemployment's at a 50-year low right now. The CPI report came out like last month saying that, you know, inflation's only like 2%. Again, the stock market's hitting all-time highs.
Right.
Right. They don't know the real what a
all
real
the mortgages
bank,
was collapsing.
bro.
Those mortgage scams, people was running up that money and everybody had to pay for that.
And it was record unemployment. Like like GM almost went out of business. The government had to come save the auto industry and the banks. Imagine the banks going out of business. I mean, that's where we was at.
Right.
And unemployment was so high. There was people with master's degrees working at Starbucks. Like it was like a real thing. And I couldn't get a job even though I graduated from college. Right. So I was like, it, man, I could just cry like a
right.
But you know what? I'm gonna come up. So what I did was I just started waking up at like 4, training people in the morning because I had been a trainer since I was 16. Like I had been training people.
So you always in shape.
Yeah. And I started working out in high school just because I used to get into fights and shit, and I wanted to fight better.
Damn right.
Right. Like other they get into it for girls or whatever.
Be a fish.
It's like no, I wanted to fight more.
Right.
And but funny thing, I didn't have to fight once I got bigger. Like, you know, it's funny how that works, right?
Of course. That's
people
how
don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I grew a little bit too, so I was taller,
helps.
you know. Man, you tall.
That's great.
Right. And but anyway, I had been a trainer, so like, and I trained people all through college. So I was like, I'm gonna train people in the morning. Then I had a job as working security at the Prada store.
Okay.
In Soho. So I would shower at the gym. I would shower at the gym in Harlem, and then go work security for 8 hours, just standing, right? Then after that, I worked for a moving company, right? So and that was 5 days a week. And on the weekends, I woke up and I trained people, right? And then I managed, same. Then I managed a restaurant in Queens. I was like the weekend manager at this barbecue restaurant in Astoria, Queens. And these was like 12, 14-hour days for years, bro, like 2 years, like during the whole recession. But yo, remind you, it was during the recession, right? And my father killed himself. But because I put in the work, man, I was able to, I made like 6 figures both years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just hard work.
Just put yourself in a sink or swim, fly or die situation.
Well, life put me in that shit. I ain't choose that.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the world did. But you didn't, let that crush you. You actually fought back against the wall. Most people that got that in them is gonna survive and do even better.
And that's like a message that I want, a lot of people to hear, especially people who come from our background, right? Because I'm familiar with your story from watching your interviews. It's like you can outwork it, like whatever circumstances you in, you can outwork it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear all that shit. No excuses, like unless your daddy blew his brains out and right before the the global financial collapse. Right. Chill out, man. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a punk.
You got your whole family to depend on you.
That's a fact.
And you took that broad, you know what I'm saying, situation put on your shoulders as a man should.
Yeah.
It makes you great though.
Exactly. Right. And what I learned from that, it was like, okay, if I can do that during these difficult times, what else could I do? Right. It was difficult. I ain't gonna say it was easy, right? It was super difficult. And, it was a lot of sacrifice, like I wasn't out partying, wasn't chasing girls, I was just head down working. And I was like, all right, bet. Here's what I'm gonna do. What if I start training people online? And that was like a crazy idea.
What year was this?
So when I had this idea in like 2009.
Yeah, that's early.
We was like, so the people who were doing it around that time, we were the pioneers. I don't want to say I invented it, but I was definitely in the first class. One of the ones, brother. Yeah, I was one of in that class. And then there was nobody teaching it, right? There was no books on it. Right, it was new. It was a new frontier. So, I just started figuring out it slowly but surely over years. I was able to start making enough money to quit one job. Then I quit another job, and then I just kept the weekend jobs, and then I was just only train people in person. But then I got to the point where I could just do it all online. Yeah, and then it just started really taking off. And over the course of the years, right, I built it up to like a multi-7-figure business, just training people online. And now I teach other people how to start their online fitness business too. Yeah, that's
legendary. I mean, through the whole sequence of that, all I'm hearing is relentlessness. I hear perseverance. You know what I'm saying? Persistence.
That's a fact.
Doing what others don't want to do. The 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The multiple jobs.
Yeah.
Doing the job. I'm out there, security man. Oh, I'm goofball. I'm working security for all the
saying?
rich people. Goddamn bad walk in with a bag. I'm the security man.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck want to do that? I do. I want some money.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, people just want to be glorious, want to be the Brandon Carter now.
Yeah.
But are they willing to do the 14 hours, the 4 a.m, and your dad dying during a recession to be this person? You know what I'm saying?
It's like I wasn't above nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I talk to dudes and they say, oh, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. I can't get a job. And I just like, yo, man, you can get a job. You just may not get what you want. You know, I wish it was like Uber or something back then. I could have just drove Uber all day.
Crazy.
Right. But we ain't even had that. Right. You know, so it was, you know, I worked security. I worked for the moving company. Like that was difficult.
That's the
work.
worst. Who the fuck want to move? You don't want to move your own shit. I got to move your shit.
Bro.
Oh, damn.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. And it's like, I'm just not, like, if I had to right now, I'm mop floors, you know, to support my son or my family. Like, if it came down to that, I'm mop floors, I do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't let nothing get in the way of me and accomplishing my goals, least of all my pride. You know what I'm saying? My pride or my ego, all that goes to the side when it comes to supporting your family, you know?
And I think that is like one of the, you know, things in our neighborhoods that hinders us on greatness and really, you know, get to those levels, because our pride and ego stops us from doing things that are going to get us up the ladder, right? Yeah. And that stops you. On top of that, the major thing I see, because it happened to me a little bit, it's called the cool factor. Oh, like, I got to be cool. I'm too cool for that. Even pride and ego, like, I can't look like that. No, I can't. I mean, you too cool. You already, because if you cool, you already. Yeah. You already, you know what I mean? But you don't want to, you getting over by being broke. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping in houses, you ain't going nowhere.
You know, I think that's a big problem, you know, because you know what it is? Most people live in this purgatory where they don't love where they at, but they don't hate it enough to do what's necessary to get out of it. You get what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like, you know, if you broke in the United States now, you still living better than like kings from like hundreds of years ago, right? You got air conditioning.
Come on, man.
You got all the entertainment you want on your phone. You know what I'm saying? You can eat whatever you want, like, you know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
And it tastes delicious.
So good.
You know what I'm
we
saying?
got all the good poison, so that you eat a burger with all the good extra poison in that, it tastes scrumptious.
If a king wanted some wine, he had to have somebody ferment some shit.
Go kill the bitch, cut her throat to get the wine. You understand me? He had to really take a life. They was killing for salt, brother. Yeah. Villages. Yeah. To take the salt from them.
Spices.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you complaining.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so, but what it does is it makes you comfortable, right? Because you can, it's hard to, in a first world country, we got so many safety nets that it's hard for you to be like really, really fucked up unless you got like a mental problem or you want some like real drugs. You know what I'm saying? But like if you in the hood, you in the hood, but you're probably not gonna starve, you know, food stamps, all that, you know, like you're probably not gonna starve to death. You know what I'm saying? But if you go to, I'm just saying, man. So the reason I say that is because it's easier to just kind of settle or just wish you can do some other, but to do to make the sacrifices. Because now you got to give up these pleasures. You got to give up the TV on demand. You got to give up, you know, running around. You know, you got to give up all the other shit. Smoking weed.
Hennessy.
Yeah, because you can live a cool life, and if you're happy with it, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not.
But they like no judgment though. But they want to complain and hate on the working hard and want to try to rob us. You know what I'm saying? And whoop us, try to get, you know what I mean, do something to us because we worked hard and got up out of there. Yeah. And you are right, because it's like it was a meme I seen on Instagram explaining like the percentages of a person just having an automobile is richer than 75% on people on Earth. On Earth, yeah. You know, just able to, you know what I'm saying, have a house over your head with running water and bathroom. You're like, people not understanding that. Yeah. And I always think about that. I'd have had my ups and downs, but there's nothing I could ever complain about. Yeah. Well, you think I had an up and down? I'm looking like this right now, living in Miami. What? I was in a basement 8 years ago. Yeah. This is glorious. Yeah. If I was me 8 years ago, I'd bring tears to my eyes to see myself.
I feel that. Yo,
I'm gonna complain about.
Sometimes, man, like the other day, man, I remember I wake up early and I do this walk. You know,
I see you do the handstand and shit.
Yeah. And then I came into my crib, man, you know, the private elevator, and I see the ocean out the window. I'm like, I started thinking about like some of the downtimes, and you know, like I got a little misty eyed just thinking about every once in a while it hits me, man. Like You know what I'm saying? Did that shit, you know?
When you come from a real place, bro, and you have real connection and reality in your brain, we can sit around all the time and then just look down at our like, damn, I got the Richard Millie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, I look at my car, look at my crib, look at my woman.
Yeah.
That's real gratitude and appreciation, not only for the grind, but the blessings that we got because we put the effort in.
Yeah.
We could never let that go, bro.
Yeah.
And people get mad when you show it or have it, but you're not really understanding what this is.
Yeah, what they say is like, yo, real rich people don't do that. But no, it's people who ain't self-made. They're going to be less ostentatious because it's like there's a certain amount of, I don't want to say embarrassment, but they don't have as much pride,
right?
Because they know they inherited it or they got it, you know, for a different method. They didn't have to go get it themselves. But when you get it yourself, then you got like a different kind of pride,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
And then on top of that, people. I mean, I like to speak on this. Like I said, black folks, we come from slavery, right? That was 400 years ago. 400 years of it. Yeah. So they had a 400-year head start, no matter how you want to cut it, right? So and then we got free. Then they had all those rules and segregation, all this in there. So I say we really start moving around like in the 80s, to really be breathing.
That's when
so we just getting used to touching real money. And
it's all new money to us.
Give us our time of stunning and acting dumb. But look at the progression. Now we know credit. Now we got coaching online. Look where our progression within that little time of letting us be super free. Yeah. We gonna get you.
But it's also just like, you know, when I worked in a product store, I saw rich people flexing, bro.
For sure.
They would go, flexing, you know, and they would go across the street and to the Gucci store, because sometimes they had me on the one in Fifth Avenue, so they go across the street to the Gucci store. Sometimes they go across the street to Louis V, and it's like, yo, rich people be flexing.
Yeah,
man.
and they do it a different way. And then like amongst themselves, they stunt too. They don't do it in open, but that's a learned trait too.
It's just different. It's you know, just cultural differences.
Yeah,
too,
and it's a learned trait. But in the day, they still look at us and want to be like us. They see us like, damn, boy, they love us.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, my favorite thing about this is like, you know, I got a bust down too. I got a bust down AP. And, you know, the watch nerds, they'll be like, oh, man, you had a bust down, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, man, listen. So you know what they did, right? Like, that happened in the hood first. It was busting down watches. Then they say, oh, get a factory watch. I'm like, but the brands weren't making factory diamond out watches, right? They saw the bust downs and they started doing it.
They copied.
So it's kind of like, you know, it's like the same as rock and roll, right? Rock and roll was like, so it started from the blues.
Yep.
The history of the blues is they, you know, the slave masters, the wives, they couldn't teach the slaves how to read. They get fucked up for that shit. So back in the day, the guitar was considered like a feminine instrument.
Right.
Like only women really played the guitar. So they would teach the slaves guitar, right? They can do that, right? Yeah. They ain't give a fuck about them teaching. Oh, you teach them that girly instrument? All right, whatever, man. Right. But then they made the blues, and that's where rock and roll comes from. Yep. But it was called like devil music back then. Right. But then when the Beatles come out, it's cool.
And when Elvis steal the shit from Elvis grew up in the hood.
Yeah. And I with the Beatles, I'm just saying it's like it's cool now.
Elvis is the #1 rock and roll all time. He grew up in the hood with he loved B.B. King and all that.
He was a G.
Then was his nick. He was a G. And then was his homeboys. Yeah. He stole their whole shit. This niggas that sound just like him. Yeah. And then he came back, gave Cadillacs in the hood. He really rocked with us. But he was the biggest guy ever by stealing our shit. And it's okay. That's how it works. It's
the same shit. So it's like, it's kind of like, I see that when I see people trying to talk about the bust down, I'm like, man, you don't understand. This is the original.
It's the original. And then
this is the original.
Like we did it. Like I got plenty plain Janes too. Yeah, I like to switch it up. Like this, right? I got the big Cuban kilo. This one up 40%, my solid gold one, right? But this one look kind of crazier, it stand out. Yeah. This is branding, marketing. On top of that, it's precious metals, so I can write it off on my taxes, go ups and down. So like you don't know what I know. You don't know my jeweler. And you don't know I went back there and understood that.
And also like, you know, the people who talk about it, they can't go to where we go, where we wear it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not, you know what I'm saying? They would never understand. And and if they really wanted to stop doing it, they should start wearing it, right? Because then we'd stop. Like when they started saying bling bling and shit. You know what I'm saying?
They put it in the dictionary. We gave it to them.
That's when y'all got it.
It's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like we are the creators. We do what we want to do, and then we learn on the fly. We make it right. Like my guy Mike Rashid said that he was like, if I buy a bust down and they say, oh, you lost all the money, how? When I'm gonna sell it to a person, I'm gonna get my money back for it.
Well, I gotta
give it to y'all.
I'm not out here flipping watches like on some broke.
Come on,
right?
Man.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like if all my watches are they come from I like treat them like trophies. Like I
Yep.
got this one when I got 1 million YouTube subscribers.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. And I was like, okay, this is a good like a trophy for it, right? Or my bust now, the AP was when I turned 40. It was like just all my watches commemorate something, so I'm gonna keep my watches forever. So I ain't worried about like the resale value.
And it's a game. It's a game of life. We playing real GTA out here. You know what I'm saying? So if I want trophies, I want to look good. It's what I want to do. It ain't for y'all.
Do whatever you want with your money.
Yeah, because I'm gonna die anyway. So why are you worrying about if something went up and down in value and all? I die tomorrow. Did I feel good that I want it?
Yeah.
Or I was living for y'all, not so y'all don't talk about me.
Yeah. No. I'm
gonna do what I want till I'm about this.
It's cool, man. They just don't understand, and it's okay. It's not supposed to because it's like different cultures. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And at the same time, but it ain't wrong to learn the game. So that's how you have both, because it is very educational when you learn about what I lived in Switzerland for 4 months, and I was out there with Patek and AP and Rolex directly. So I seen how it is when you get it directly from the dealer, and you build the relationships that get going the back door, and they got the ones. Oh, only 1 of 50. Damn, it's right here. I can get this now, and I go sell it for 100,000 over. Like I learned that game, so it's great education behind it too. But at the same time, we want to live and do what we want to do. It's our world.
You got to enjoy it. You
know what I'm saying? So the coaching, you say you've been doing that a long time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does it feel when you make another person successful?
Oh yeah, so first, I got into fitness coaching because, I say I used to get in fights, and I remember one summer, man, I put in a lot of work over the summer, right? And I came back to school. I'm like, I wish one of these would talk shit. I can't wait. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was boxing with I had a trainer, dude in Chicago, is Aaron Muhammad. He won a Farrakhan's like head of security, right? I mean, he's like friend of the family. One of the so he would like train me, and then he was also like a Golden Glove boxer, so he taught me how to box. So I was like, yeah, talk some shit now. I can't wait. But I noticed they didn't fuck with me. Right. It's just different because when you start, the great thing about fitness is when you start actually. Okay, the thing about fitness is you got to do certain things every day. You got to change your habits in order to change your physique. You got to start getting enough sleep. You got to eat right. You got to make sure that you drink enough water. All these things, you got to make all these little promises to yourself every day. Once you start to keep those promises, you start to like yourself more. You start to have more confidence. You start to believe in yourself more, right? And it wasn't that I got super big that summer, right? It was just 2-3 months, right? But it was just I carried myself different, right? And I noticed that them kids didn't want to fight no more. But some of them same kids was asking me for workout advice. I was like, all right, come with me, let's do it. Yeah. And I started like training them from what I learned, right? With the limited knowledge I had, and they started making some progress, and they stopped becoming little. Right, they stopped with people. They started getting better grades. I saw their personalities change, as did mine, and that's when I fell in love with like training people. I was like, oh, we're not just changing their bodies, we're changing people's real personalities. Right. When someone gets in shape, their personality changes. For sure. You know what I'm saying? And I fell in love with that aspect. But now I made a career out of it. Now I teach people I still train some people, you know what I'm saying? But now at scale, I train trainers. Right. So it's like now I see some guys who are maybe like me or similar backgrounds, and they start making some money, and I see how that changes their lives, because their personality changes, and we can do it faster, right? Because there's limits to biology. Of course. Right. You can only lose so much fat safely, per month. You can only naturally, there's limitations on how much muscle you can put on a month, right? So that's a really gradual process. But the money stuff, man, like you could do it fast. There's not the same biological limitations. So when that change happens, it's just like they change, their personality changes. I had people like tear up. They bought their moms a car, or they moved their moms out the hood, or they just don't have to worry about bills no more. Right. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's really beautiful to be able to help people in that regard. And then they're doing what I used to do. So now it's like they're out there changing lives as well. Yeah. With the way I used to do it, just one man training people. Now it's like we're training. I'm on a certain level. I'm training like tens of thousands of people, helping them get in shape.
You planted that seed and you made an orchard.
And exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what it's all about, though. And I always felt, physical and fitness and health is the foundation of a man. Like, because once again, you build those foundations from consistency, the way you eat, your discipline, your ambition. It shows in your physique, and the way you train yourself and the way you look as a man. That shows how you gonna work. That's how you grind. How you know what I'm saying, respect yourself. It speaks volumes.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's more important money, because the way you come and structure into the money, is game changing. When they try to go backwards, that's when they want to cheat and do steroids, blow their fucking heart up. Like, that ain't real. You ain't put the real work in.
Yeah,
when you come from the seed with that dedication, and then you get the money, you a whole different superhero.
Yeah, you know, and also it's like, how do I put it? It changes. It's like I talk to a lot of guys who got money, right? And they're not in shape. And there's an insecurity about it. You know, they may not say it. They still might be boisterous to the public, but they'll pull me aside and they'll be like, "Oh man, I just got," you know what I'm saying? And there's some that's with them, right? Maybe they feel like their girl is with them for
because of money.
Or maybe even not just because of money. Maybe she still, because they have redeeming qualities outside of that, right? But it might be, he knows they're settling, right? Especially if it's a bad. Right, like they're settling. You know what I'm saying? So they want to change it, right? Even with all the money, it's like they still want that, right? You know,
yeah, for sure. It is mandatory. On top of that, the confidence you build of knowing I am a good looking man, I make myself this. When you get the money, now you women, you gonna treat them a little different. Yeah, like, baby, you want me for overall. It ain't just this. You ain't thinking that.
Well, then you every girl's dream,
of course.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
They run into a problem now because they're not the catch, they're not the prize. We are. Yeah. Now they get upset. Now they want to be. Because it's reality. You always pick up anyway. You're always gonna pick the guy that's up there anyway. But if you up there and you like and this with the money,
if they're not settling, right? They're not settling for the fat rich guy.
The guy you know that's the oddball. You know you looking. You know what I'm saying, like an odd couple. Yeah, like, you're not selling for that. Now it's different.
Now it's like you literally
gotta come with it.
Kind of the prize, right?
By far, you know what I'm saying? Close. Stop it close, brother.
Legit, literally, and I don't mean that in the. You know, because that is kind of, that terminology gets used a lot in like red pill circles, and I don't necessarily mean it like that.
You ain't belittling nobody. It's just reality.
It's just like, dope. You got like, you are in great shape.
Yes,
right. You got your mind right. You strong mentally, and you got money.
Right.
You know, it's like, that's literally what every girl dreams of.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not dreaming about having the fat rich guy.
Right. She did not dream of that as a kid.
And she's not dreaming about having the guy in shape who's broke.
Right. And then they always say, I want the provider, which I get. See, they take one piece of the Bible. That's the only thing they ever say. In the Bible says that. You ain't look at all the other stuff in the Bible. They say how a woman should be and how a family should be, and you should be as a person. You still lying, cheating, stealing, but you want that little piece. You can't rely on that because you're not giving all the rest of the components. That's where they f up at when they mess with a person that got high level intelligence, physical fitness, and the money. Now they locked in, and they can't get out of it.
You know, and also they change up. Right, so you know, sometimes when I go on some of those other podcasts, like my homies Fresh and Fit, those the homies, man, and when I see not Fresh and Myron, but you know, I see the dynamic where guys they're trying to get girls to do this, or they're trying to, it's like if you was really that dude, she would want to do that. Like you wouldn't have to. I don't have to tell my girls to, hey man, don't go on girls trips, or like don't.
She know better.
It's like she wouldn't even.
Why would she do that?
Why would she risk that
ever?
You know what I'm saying? Why would she risk that? What's she gonna do? Go back?
Yeah, so that's why I always tell them guys from the rip, like, make sure you got yourself in order. You want to chase the money for sure. Yeah. But make sure you know who you are. Make sure you witty. Make sure you funny. Make sure you got knowledge. Yeah. Make sure you know how to dress. Be everything. Be that superhero you wanted to be as a kid. Yeah. Be that guy. Yeah. Just don't have the money, bro. You at a disadvantage. You see all these guys, the richest women ever got it from divorce. Yeah. Right. So you want to get all this money and lose your bag? For what?
Nah.
Hell no.
Because you know it's weird. You know, they don't. Yeah, I guess these guys don't get prenups or what. I'm not sure what happens, man. But you got to keep the leverage.
You got to keep that leverage.
You got to keep the leverage because she needs to be. If you don't have a prenup, man, it's like she's not incentivized to work it out with your ass.
Right.
She's incentivized to leave. She's gonna get paid millions of dollars to leave.
Having kids with
You know
you
what
and all
I'm
that,
saying?
she gonna run off on you. And,
Chill out.
like I say, man, like I come from a different side, and I get the community of the people that the nerd community, because the nerds run the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's a revenge of the nerds right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And salute them. You know what I'm saying? But if you come in like how I hear about you, you're already a cool guy before you got money.
Yeah.
So we at a disadvantage because most of us don't play in game. The guys that was cool in high school, they been getting and all that. They burn out by the time they get to college.
Yeah.
When they get out of the playing sports, like what I'm gonna do? Reality,
you
the
gotta
nerd
figure
done
this shit
got you.
out. Yeah.
So like I have to look at it from different perspective because I've been this guy since 7th grade. Thank God I went all the way through. So when I hear them, I'm like, I don't get that. But majority of the people are those guys.
They had different experience. They had different experience with women, right? So if you, I'm just saying, if you are the man, then I've never had an adversarial relationship with females, right? It's always been cool.
I have no hatred for them. They did whatever I wanted my whole life.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
they be having breaks, and I be like, I ain't never had a problem. You know what I'm saying? And the ones
that doing this, like I never.
The ones that are not for me, they know not to come at me.
Yeah,
you're not. I'm the one.
Yeah,
you better come right when you come to me, or we don't get along. God bless you.
You don't even, and you don't even have to say it.
No,
right? That's what I'm saying. Like they're excited to start acting right. You know
for sure.
They and a lot of times, man, it'd be the dude, right? Like, cause check it out. If you aren't keeping the promises you make to yourself, if you out here, you're supposed to be getting in shape, and maybe you say it even, or she sees you trying to get in shape, but she sees you falling off of your diet. She sees you out here, breaking the promises you make to yourself. You skipping workouts. She sees you not working hard, right? Then she don't trust you, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna trust you.
Yeah, you got to be a man of your word. You got to stand on it. You got to be disciplined.
And that's gonna spark fear in her.
Facts.
Right? And then she's gonna start acting crazy.
Yeah.
Because she's not gonna feel like she's safe, right? To let you lead.
Right.
Because you're not even leading yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not even leading yourself down the right path. So how's she gonna feel safe under those circumstances? And this is a subconscious thing. It's not something she's teaching.
Yeah.
She's thinking. I'm sorry. It's like some evolutionary shit, right? Like she's gonna be like, oh shit, this is
over time
up around, and then that's when she's gonna start testing you. You know what I'm saying? And she's gonna get out of pocket because she don't trust you.
Yeah, she don't trust
you.
You
As a man, not trust you but I mean like trust you as a man,
as a leader.
Yeah. And why should she?
Facts. And if you, like I said, you have to be a man of respect, a man of morals and integrity. And even if you are doing things like having other women, you must be a man enough to tell them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, do that.
Yeah, like, baby, I with you. I got some on the side. I'm just I ain't gonna treat them like you. And if I do, I'm gonna let you know. Yeah. But it's us. Home is gonna be taken care of.
If that's what you want to do, then that's cool, man. Like I'm not like a strong proponent of that.
Right.
Just because man, like having a whole roster of women, it's
what's the danger?
It's not getting you to the bag.
Right.
Like you're not getting money. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
to him,
well, just check it out. Like think about, every woman you interact with, you got to spend some time with her, right? You got to spend some time with her, right? And the fact that's why you want to spend. That's why you want a bunch of women. You want to spend time with them doing whatever,
Right.
And that's time that you're not spending going after your real goals, your real purpose. Like it's indulgent. You know what I'm saying? So like I got a girl, but it's like I just got one girl, right? And I know a lot of guys are, live with her however you want to live. I'm not telling people what to do, but I can't see how that's advantageous when it comes to the pursuit of getting money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
I just can't see. If anything, it's you are at a disadvantage, right? Because you don't have as much time. You can't work as hard as me.
Yeah.
You can't work as hard as me.
And then having a teammate is better than having a lot of cheerleaders.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So you got a real teammate. So that's a blessing.
Yeah.
And I always been an individual that was freelancing, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm real barbaric with mine. I don't go on dates. I don't pursue nothing. I'm on the gram. How did you come over? That night, get out of here. So I don't spend no time with them. You come over 4 a.m, 3 a.m, TV aiming on, get out. I ain't no date.
Yeah.
I ain't no go on a boat and see the goddamn feed the ducks and all that.
Yeah.
I do nothing, brother.
Yeah.
I'm blessing you.
If that's how you run it, that's cool.
Yeah,
but
don't get it misconstrued. I know ain't nothing better than having you a companion with you that's gonna grind what you believe and love you for real.
I think
that you can
better,
trust.
Man.
Overall, it is better. You know what I'm saying? I think it is a problem because I'm working on myself. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. I just do it so well that I feel like I deprived of this world back. I'm not gonna lie to you, Keto. You know what I'm saying? Because I stand up in them, champ, and they spread the word. It's feel like Genghis Khan. They must know my glory.
Yeah.
You know, so I fight with that. I be like, damn, am I here to
It's almost selfish.
Yeah,
if you don't.
I feel like I'm depriving them of top level. You know what I'm saying? The Homo sapiens. Like, do I cut this off? You know what I'm saying? And I just cheat them of full glory. Like, they had the best ever in their life, coolest guy ever. I like, damn, I just give it to one.
Damn,
she coming up a little too goddamn much.
Well, great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
brother.
I feel like that. So it's like, I understand it, I see it, but I'm like, I probably just hate that. It's like all the superheroes don't have wives for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Superman, Batman, they can't have Wolverine always die on them.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm a superhero. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a gift of my curse. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
One day, hopefully, I can sit down and be like, boom, because I get it.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, dog, I bless him.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
In fact, I mean, I think the easy thing to do is to fuck a bunch of. And that's not me trying to talk about you.
It's real, brother. I'm Keep it pure. This is organically speaking.
Because it's like, it's a big sacrifice. You get what I'm saying? Like it's
big risk too.
You know, and it really just depends on what you're trying to accomplish, man. Right. You know, and if it's congruent with your goals and it's getting you there, then do it. Like I never want to tell people what to do. I want people to do whatever they want to do. Yeah. You know, it's like, but if someone's asking me for advice, it depends on the size of your goals, right? If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then the goals become the sacrifice.
Yeah, because the biggest guys that's probably, you know, in wealth, they have wives.
Yeah,
that's are super successful. They have wives. The people that's out there, you know, fly and freelancing around, they go down.
Yeah, you know,
especially black men. All our top black guys went down to.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
facts.
Listen, man, like that's
the Diddler,
bro. You know,
Bill Cosby, Mike Tyson.
They was doing some wild.
But they going a little overboard.
They was going too hard.
Yeah, I'm just be chilling,
you know,
brother.
I would have told them not to do that.
Yeah, I ain't with all that now. I be in the crib. I don't party or nothing. Listen. See, think about me. I ain't gonna lie, Keto. They call me Organic and you King Keto. That's what I'm saying. You're a fellow superhero. Yeah. So Organic, I never drank alcohol in my life.
Oh, word.
Never smoked weed. Never did a drug. I ain't got no baby moms. Got no kids. So don't get me up like I'm just a wild guy.
I did all that shit.
Right.
But I sacrificed it, right?
Yeah.
You know, I used to like drinking.
Okay,
you know
yeah.
I used to like smoking weed. Yeah. I used to like, man, there was a time I was like 3 a day and you know,
different
like
ones happening.
Yeah.
What you goddamn smearing the ranch on ranch. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I should like doing that. I like one of the Dover clean that, go another one, put it there too, mix it up.
Nah, that's probably indicative of some mental issues that
crazy man.
I would definitely bathe in between.
Double dip in the community, man. I had a problem with that. I don't know what that was.
I definitely had a problem because it was when I was doing that. It wasn't like, oh man, I'm so cool. It was like, damn, yo, what's wrong with me, man? Why can't I?
Was it before you were successful?
Yeah, it was before.
Yeah, because it was an ego thing.
Yeah,
because if I could, because I used to do that too. Like, because I could. I'm just like you. Like I used to go to the club, and I used to live in Minnesota this time. So it'd be the Vikings players, Timberwolves players. I feel the same. Hey, I feel like
you feel like the man, right? It's like I think it is an ego thing, right? You know, I mean, straight up, it's an ego thing, and I think a lot of guys get validation from women, even though they don't want to say it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's for me, it was like just cutting out as many vices as possible, and women was a vice, right? Women, alcohol, drugs, you know, or just partying, you know, video games, whatever was like a vice. The more I cut those things out, the more room it gave me to devote to my goals.
Focus on your goals.
Right. And every time I cut a vice, I made more money.
Yeah, the biggest vice, it's going to sound crazy, but I said this on a few other podcasts, and I'm 100% dead ass serious. The biggest vice I ever cut off and I saw instant success was masturbating and watching. So no fap, they call it, right?
Yeah.
So I did that about 8 years ago. Okay. Same time I started my YouTube.
Yeah.
Within 3 years, I became a millionaire. And I stopped masturbating, stopped watching, and it gave me more time to focus all night instead of, you know, trying to find a good video. And
trying to find the right video.
Yeah, you got to get the good angle now. I want that creamy now.
Mad tabs open
up. Let me see the one she really goddamn squirting on that.
Chrome started to crash.
Yeah, all type of bugs and viruses. Oh, what's wrong with my phone? So once I cut that shit out, bro, and I just focused on the grind and like, okay, once again, I did the same regimen too, waking up 5 in the morning, hitting the gym, knocking a vlog out every day, upload, then doing live streams every night, you know what I'm saying, getting $200, $300 in donations every night. I'm like, oh, I'm rich now. So like, yeah, when you cut out vices, it takes you to a whole nother plateau in life.
What it does is it gives you room, like space, both mentally and just like actual real tangible time, right? I mean, time is a mental construct, right? But I mean, it's like time you can use. You're not doing this, so you're doing something else. So you can do something else, right? But, excuse me, it also frees up like bandwidth, right? Because if you let's say weed is your vice, right? And I'm not, if you want to smoke weed, that's fine. If it works for you, then do it, right? But for me, it's like, yo, you got to get the weed, you got to find the weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's a mission, you know, like then it's money, and it's like and for me, I'm not as productive when I'm high. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's clearly when I'm high. And you know, some people are different, you know, but whatever. I'm talking about me. Right. When I was able to cut out the vices, it just gave me more room to think and more time to devote to my goals. And you know, if you can do that, man, then there's not a lot you can't accomplish. You know, there's 168 hours in every week, right? Right. Let's say you sleep 8 hours a night. That's 56 hours, right? And like, and for me, it's, you know, I got to put in 80 hours of work a week. Or else I feel like I'm not even trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, that leaves you with 32 hours left, right? You know, but you still got time to do other, but then you got to bathe and, you know, you got to do other, but it's like, how effectively are you using those hours? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, I got to get the most out of these hours. So I didn't even, it wasn't even like I'm trying to stop devices. I was so serious about the goals that it was like a crowd out. Does that make sense? It was like there was no time to, and then what happens is the cravings go away.
For sure. It takes time.
Yeah. And you know why you like mad, right?
Yeah, help me out, brother.
You know, it's because, so there's this thing, man, like now is dopamine. It makes you chase things.
Facts.
Dopamine makes you chase things. And there's never going to, one of the things that sparks dopamine is novelty. Right. So a new chick, even if she's not as bad,
it's always better.
It's always going to be better.
Of course.
Right. It's going to spark the dopamine. Even if it's not like really better. Right.
It's just
you know
new.
What I'm saying?
It's
just the newness. Right. And so it's, what happens is we get addicted to that. Especially someone who doesn't have other vices, right? Because if you have that kind of personality, or just if you're a human, it's going to manifest itself some way, right?
Question.
So I deliberately try to not get dopamine from negative sources, right? Because that dopamine is like a reward, right? It's like a reward, and if you reward yourself for doing things that you don't want to do, you're going to do more of it. You're going to do more of whatever you get a reward from.
No question.
And when you do, you're going to get a dopamine reward from that.
It's the new one. It ain't pussy.
Yeah. It's the new one.
That same. You already leave me alone.
You're going to get
that new head on the wall. That new predator skull shined up.
Exactly.
You understand me?
So like I try, what I've done is I've trained my mind to receive dopamine from like new money, new deals, you know what I'm saying?
That is the best
hitting
feeling,
new goals, right? And they're more difficult though. That's the problem. It's more difficult, and you can't get instant.
No instant gratification.
Yeah, I can get instant gratification from a video game. Facts. I can get instant gratification from a blunt. I can get instant gratification from some chick. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the problem is it trains you to. That gratification, that reward is going to train you. Whatever a human is rewarded for, they're going to do more of, right? So there's that. That's the thing.
It's 100% fact. Nothing you're saying is wrong. And
I'm not saying if it's working, then do it. You know.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I got my work ethic is crazy. At the same time, that is it's not a great thing. It's not, and I'm not like I'm 43. It shouldn't be still doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, you cool. Like I've been cool. Like it is a problem. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that I enjoy, and that's the only thing I really enjoy outside of working out and getting money. Exactly. I don't do nothing else. So that's the instant thing a woman to say about you don't smoke, you don't drink. What you do? You got a lot of.
Yeah,
you're right. You know what I'm saying? But it's understood that it like. Once you know something is a problem, you can work on it. And I got way better. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So over time, I'm getting there. I'm getting older. Hey, I'm halfway dead. I got a little more time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know what else, man? It's you know how they say you become like the people you're around?
Facts.
And I feel like people know that, and the guys know that, but they don't consider it a
Talk to them.
You know what I'm saying? So like you become like these chicks too, right? So I'm careful about the people who I associate with a lot, just because, you know, does this person have traits that I don't mind assimilating, right? Because it's going to happen inadvertently. Right? People where you're from, they probably all have similar accents, right? It's not in your DNA. You learn it involuntarily from the people you're around.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying? Like one of the reasons, you know, one of the good things, one of the things that was lucky about me, for me, was, you know, the work ethic.
Yeah.
And I got that from my parents. So my dad, like I said, he worked super hard for years before he came up. And I saw that as a kid, even though he worked so much, I didn't see him a whole lot, even though he lived in the same house with me. I didn't see him a whole lot.
Right.
But, you know, I knew he was working, and I think that imprinted on me, right? Or my mom, she would wake me up at like 5 when I was a kid, because she had to walk me to preschool. I'd be one of the first at preschool.
Yeah.
And then she'd get on the bus and go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I saw the work ethic of my parents, and I think I assimilated a lot of that, right? Because you become like the people you're around.
Right.
And as it pertains to the man, it's like, yo, the chick who's just gonna like you just cuz all the time, like she probably got some shit going on that you don't want to assimilate.
That's true.
You know,
it's true. So over time, once I became, like I said, it was an ego thing, and I was not successful. I'm just being a cool guy. I'm just, you know, that giving my dopamine, feel like I'm somebody. So the more I became successful, the bigger I became. It was quality over quantity.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that's
But it's still a lot, but it was less of it. You know what I'm saying? Now the more top level.
Well, you got to be more picky.
Got to be.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah, it's like if let's say I was single right now, I didn't have a girl, like you know, like every want to, man, it's like I don't know if you know, you're gonna bring some. I don't know if I want to bring all that negativity in my life, all that she has going on. I don't want to bring that in my life. Like there's been girls when I was single who were attractive, right?
Right.
But you know, when I talk to her, man, she's talking about all these problems she got. Her life is chaotic, right?
Yeah.
And that's indicative of like what's going on. You know, we're living the results. Everything we're experiencing now is the results of the decisions and the actions we took in the past, right? You got all this jewelry because you grinded for years, right?
Great.
You came up with some money, right? You in good shape because you worked out for years, right?
That is great,
so we're living the results of our past actions, right? So when somebody comes to you and their life is chaotic, that's the result of a lot of mistakes, you know, and you know, you bring that in your life. This is one chick I was messing with, right? And when I was in New York, and she lived in the Bronx, red flag, right? You know, she was bad, right? But she
Dominican,
yeah, of course. You know how I roll, man. They call me, you know what I'm saying, Papi Negro.
Got to get that. You understand me? Ain't nothing wrong with that Dominican man.
You know what I'm saying? Que lo que miente, you know? And so yeah, she was but her fucking life was just fucking chaos. Right. And she had all these problems, and she would have like panic attacks. And then one day I remember, man, I was just thinking about something, and I started tripping, and I had a panic attack. First one in my life, like, yo, what the fuck's happening to me? I'm like, oh shit.
I bet then transfer to panic attack.
Yeah, no, but that's real.
Right.
Think about when one of your homies gets a new car.
Yeah.
You start seeing that new car everywhere. Right? Well, what happens when your homies get some new problems?
You get problems too.
You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't an X-Man. You didn't attract that shit. What happened is it was there the whole time, right? What happens is there's a part of your brain called the reticular activation system, right? And it decides what you'll notice, right? Because there's so many stimulus going on, so many visual, audible, and you know, stimulus going on. We can't focus on everything, right? So when something, that part of your brain is located at the base of your brainstem, it activates on things that are brought to your attention, then you'll see more of them. That's why you see the car all the time. But if this chick is bringing all these problems, all these issues, all this drama in your life, you're going to see more drama in your life too. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like all that is always happening.
So it's almost like an algorithm in social media.
It's exactly in our mind.
Like they tap into that.
Like that. That's a great example.
Right.
It's like when you start, if you go online and you watch and you like and comment on a bunch of political, you're gonna see all political shit.
Facts.
You know, it's your brain is like it's just
they
like
study
that.
I think those guys did study that. Because even if you look at it for a certain amount of time, all that stuff start being repetitive. The negative stuff pops up because you being negative. You like negative. Well, this stuff on my timeline. That's your.
That's your. that's my timeline look totally different.
Facts.
My timeline gonna be all watches, all like fancy watches and brown.
If you want to
chicks.
see how a person thinks and lives,
Bro, look at the timeline.
Ask their Instagram and look at their Explorer.
Yo, or like all social media is like that. I remember one of my old video editors. He was Asian. He's this Asian dude. He was real into fashion. He was one of them like fly Asian niggas.
I know
you know what I'm
guys,
talking about? And the homie Johnny. And one day I walked into the office and he had his YouTube up, and the homepage it was all motherfucking fashion and like different kind of sushis or some shit. Right, because he was in the. I don't know if it was sushi, but some sort of Asian cuisine.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that shit look, your shit look way different than mine.
Yeah, that's true. Look at people's Explorer page, look at their YouTube homepage, look at that when you meet people. You
get a glimpse in their mind, bro. It's like but it's like that in real, it's like outside of social media, it's like that too. Just like when you saw the car, that car was there the whole time, you just didn't notice it.
Yeah. So do you feel like social media has blended with reality? So like that dopamine chase,
it magnifies it.
It magnifies it.
It magnifies it. You know what I'm saying? It magnifies it. You know, you got to remember, people are going to do whatever they're rewarded for, right? So if social media, they're not. People say, man, social media, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do. No, they're just trying to make money,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to make money, right? And you know, when you give attention to certain things, it's going to pop up more because they can make more money off ads.
Right.
You know, like, or even like the news, right? You can watch the news one day and they're only going to show you the bad, right? But they're not trying to program your mind to bad. What it is human beings, we have a bias, it's a cognitive bias called the negativity bias, where we've evolved to be on alert for like danger, right? So we're always going to see. So they're going to tell you about all the bad shit that happened in Miami today, right? But man, good shit happened, right?
Sure.
Babies was born, people got married, you know what I'm saying? Graduated, people got A's on it, like a bunch of great shit happened.
Facts.
But they're going to tell you about the few bad things, but if that's your only glimpse,
right? Then
you'll think that that's Miami,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
For
like,
sure.
Man, good shit happens today.
Yeah, that is true. It's real programming, mental programming that you can actually take advantage of and use it to your advantage. Like literally, you could take advantage of it and use it to your advantage. Yeah, if you really pay attention to what you do, what you think, what you look at, you will improve your life. You know, by 100 multiples, easy.
I'm super serious about that, like programming to myself. So if you go to my crib, man, when you gonna come through, when you go on my podcast, you're gonna see as soon as you come out the elevator, man, it's a big money rug. Yeah, I got money art, right? Because I want to see different opportunities to get money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't let people speak negative around me.
Never. So I'm big on that. My homie be mad at me. Hey, no, come on, man, you back on it. Nothing but positive outlooks, positive outcomes. I believe in manifestation heavy. Everything I ever dreamt about got, because I stayed on the path. I never looked at the negative of it. Because most people look at the fall or the loss of a situation instead of look at the glory and the win of it, when that's the upside. If you lose, you go back to normal or go down where you was at anyway. If you win, it's beyond your measures of greatness you can go to. Why are you looking down when you could go to the moon, dumbass? Yeah. So that's what I always thought, and I lived it and done it.
It's real.
It's true, bro. I live on that shit.
I take it to like extreme levels. Like I never say I'm tired. I'll be like, yo, I got to get more energy. You want to focus on where you're going. Yeah. Right? You know, there's a reason the windshield is bigger than the rear view, because that's what you're supposed to look through.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I never say I'm so thirsty. I'll be like, yo, I got to get some water. Right? You know, it's never, when I was struggling, it was like, man, I'm broke. It's like, nah, I got to get some more money.
I get some more money.
Because think about it. Who would you bet on? The guy who says, man, I'm broke, or the guy who says, I got to get more.
That's my slogan, is like, whatever I do, or everything I want, I just got to do more. You got to do more. I want to look better, I got to work out more. I want more money, I got to do more. I want better women, I got to, it's more. Yeah. It's more.
You just focus on where you want. You got to go somewhere.
Right.
So you focus on where you want to go. Don't focus on what happened, right? Because then you'll see more of it, right? But if you say, I got to get more money, then your brain is going to start looking for the opportunities.
Because like, I program myself, and me and my dog Slim, shout out to Slim, my guy, tall guy car reviews. When we start doing the buying cars, Hellcats, and cars and shit like that, right? We'll get multiple cars, and what that was, we'll put our back against the wall. And what happened was, okay, I got to pay $1,000 for this Hellcat, $1,000 for this Corvette. Damn, I'm only making $5 this month. My rent is this. What happens is you so nervous, you go so hard, you making 10 instead of the 7 you was making. Now I'm making 20, because we them type of people. Everybody ain't got that in them. But if you got that in you, you go up and then you go higher than what you are. You be so scared to fuck it up that you got to go for the gusto, and you gonna quadruple your outcome if you got that in you. Everybody ain't got it, but I do.
That's how you got to approach. Yeah. You know, most people approach their goals like, what do I have to do to accomplish this goal? Right. Mm-hmm. The way when I set a goal, right, and you can only set a few goals, right? You got to limit your scope when you do this. But I set a goal. I say, what amount of effort would I have to put in that would make it impossible for me to fail? Yeah. Right. It's a different outlook. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's a different. It's like you try. Oh, what do I got to do to get it? How much effort do I got to put in to make it impossible for me to fail? And that's how like I really attack the goals I have. And it doesn't matter what the goal is, right? It'd be like, yo, I want to have a better relationship. I want to make sure I have a great relationship with my son. What do I have to do to make it impossible for me to fail at that? Right? What if I want to get in great shape? What do I have to do to make it impossible for me to fail? Yeah, that's major. Like it's a whole different way of looking at it. You come at it from a different level. You know, I play some instruments and shit. All my life I played guitar, keyboard, and I remember I had a guitar teacher, right? And I had this gig I had to play. The singer paid me to play songs for her while she sang, right? And I didn't know the song, so I was just learning it with my teacher. And he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, I got it." He said, "No." He said, He said, "Amateurs practice till they get it right. Pros practice till they can't get it wrong."
That's a different.
And I was like, "Oh." So you need to play it. So you need to play it right so many times that it'd be difficult for you to play it wrong.
Ride the bike of life, so you can never fall off. You can never not do it.
That really stuck with me.
I live on the motto that if you never quit, you never lose. Right? If you never give up, you will reach your goal. Yeah. Do you feel that's real for people?
Yeah, I mean, there's limitations, right? Like if you and I wanted to go to the NBA now in our 40s, you know what I'm saying? We'd be the oldest in it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, outside of like the limitations of, you know, the physical world, you know, like we're not talking about no mystical shit. You know, like then if humans do it, then we can do it. Facts. And you know, persistence is undefeated, man. It's straight up. Persistence is undefeated. Like you can, if you're consistent over a long period of time, it's very few things you can't accomplish. But it's even consistency.
So like even that, what you said, right? And that's the beauty of it, right? Because you say, okay, I want to go to the NBA. I'm old as hell. Let me go to the NBA. Yeah, if I don't make the NBA, if I make the G League or I make one of them little overseas teams, you can still be professional. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how it goes. You shoot for the moon, you still land on the stars, they say. Yeah. So that's how it normally works when you go big. When I say I want to goddamn have my own space shuttle and one day, boom, at least I get on the goddamn, you know what I'm saying, jet. Yeah. I didn't get on the spaceship, but I'm on a damn jet. I'm close. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why you want your dreams so big that it's outrageous. That's what I go for. Like, I always say I'm going to be a billionaire, blah, 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 blah. I give me $100 million, I'm going to be cool. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's my mindset is just massive thoughts. Like, goddamn, you thinking what? Yeah. Because if I get somewhere in between that, I'm a billion times better than when I was at.
That's a fact.
So that's how I think for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, just consistency over a long period of time is, you know, it will fuck people up as they go for like big hits. Yeah. And if they don't hit the big thing, it's like, but it's for me, what I found to be helpful is to just, if I chip away at the shit every day, right? Because that's how, like, think about the Grand Canyon, right? The Colorado River was going through it, right? Slowly over years, but it eroded and it made the huge canyon over a long period of time, right? If you go hard for a long period of time, it's difficult to fail at something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. And
consistently though.
Consistency, and of course, the mama mentality, I always speak on that. I got all the gifts, I got all the, you know, blessings, but I'm gonna still work harder than everybody. Yeah. That's where you're gonna win at. Yeah. Are you working harder than everybody? You want 1% wealth. Are you working harder than the other 99%? Yeah. Like you said, King back in the day was happy with his goddamn he got an indoor shitter. Yeah. You got to think about all them peasants that just wanted some food. Exactly. They hating on you in their graves right now. Yeah. And you got to beat all them. You want to be 1% of humans ever live. That's what it is when you become 1%. It's not just the people here. Yeah. It's the because way back then they want the chariot and the goddamn horse and the golden steak. They didn't get none of that. Yeah. So when you win, you winning for eternity. Most likely you probably the most successful person in your whole ancestry that you know of. Yeah. Ain't that crazy when you think about it? Because I know I am. I'm the mental mother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different type of understanding when you think in that grand level. Also, I had a question for you. Because I'm a bearded. Yeah. I heard you say, I don't want no beard, no successful just have beard.
I didn't say no. Okay.
I'll be the top guy.
To be clear.
Let me clear it up for him, Chad.
Let me just clear it up. Right? You know, so if people got real mad at me when I said this shit, so like everybody with their beard, man, I want y'all to know, man. I want y'all to be happy, man. Whatever makes you happy.
Break it down
you
for
know what I'm
them.
saying? It's whatever. I ain't tripping. For me, what I noticed was that I've been doing sales for a long time, and always the top sales guys were clean shaven. Like just all the ones I've ever met were clean shaven, you know, and maybe some of them would start growing beards after they were already successful, you know, but on the come up, they were all clean shaven. Then I noticed every president over the last 100 years was clean shaven, like not even a mustache over the last 100 years, like styles changed. Right. And then I looked at the fucking Fortune 500 list and 95% of the guys are clean shaven. And then I started doing some more research, and it was like, okay, it's something about it where people, there's a cognitive bias where people trust you more. Like think about if you were to, you grew up similar situations as me, man. Were the fucking criminals clean shaven?
No.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like just think of it when they there's a
but the
bias.
shicey sneakies and all that, what the smooth mouths now.
I'm not saying that they were good people. I'm talking about how they
Jeffrey Dahmer was looking clean shaven, goddamn.
You know, and then it's like, you know, I skipped some parts of my story, right? But when I told it initially, man, but you know, when you hustling, right? If you don't look like you hustling, you know
that's what I'm saying. The top level shysters.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. You want to get in there inconspicuously and didn't reconform the Trojan horse the situation.
Yeah, I mean, look at the politics. Like politics is shady as fuck. But they
Trojan horse
clean shaven, right? It's because people trust you.
Makes it a little easier for you.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Right. I'm not casting aspersions. Some of my best friends got long ass beards, right?
But the easier path in there.
It's just like, yo, I'm, you know, just there's something. It seems like people trust you more. Just looking at the data, right? It seems like people trust you more.
That's a man. Listen, when you said it, I fully got it. I never take it personally.
People got mad at me, and I wasn't trying to make talk about
you
people with beards.
Like how you broke it down. You broke it down even more just now. Yeah. But the statistical background behind it is out. You can't be mad at logic.
I can't be mad at logic, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because the people that do got beard, you could do it, but you got to be overly doing it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Like a guy when Iverson first got in the NBA, he had the braids. No one done it. He had to go overboard. He had to be the best ever.
One of the best point guards
there
ever.
You go. So like it was so easier. Like even Cam Newton said that he had to like regular hair, no beard, no nothing. Yeah. No mustache, nothing. To look at him now. He looked great. He's doing how you doing it.
But look, yo, when he did that, this had all the endorsements. This motherfucker had yogurt. This nigga was doing yogurt, right? But it's like, could he have had that if he was looking like you know, if he was right? You know, it's just like you got. I think of it from a marketability standpoint, you know, and especially. And also, you know, when I went to military school, like the people who ran the school, they were like special forces, military, like Navy SEALs. And these motherfuckers all clean shaven, looking like David Goggins. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, that's the military shit. And I really looked up to those dudes, you know, because they was like legit badasses. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think that also had an impression on me where it's like I never wanted to, you know, I was never compelled to really grow my facial hair.
And everybody teaches you, see, like,
it's okay though.
Even like how my brand is organic, is being yourself at the highest level. So I had my shit colored all type of shit because I remember. I want to be just a freelance white, and I still made it. You know what I mean? So it's all each your own, but it is easier route. My homie always say, you're an outliner. You can't, you know, go against the population and think like everybody got that like you. I fully get that. So I'm not a fool enough to be like, I did it. Nah, you ain't as crazy as me. Relax. Take the easy route. You can't go this way. You know what I'm saying? I get that.
But to be clear, I wasn't talking about people with beards. I was just like, yo, man, there's just some data that I felt is compelling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. I get it. Yeah. So when did you get into keto? Like, how does that became your thing? Like being the king of keto?
What happened with me was, you know, I did a checkup for insurance shit, you know, health insurance. And they said my cholesterol was high, right? And that's something that runs in my family. Like it's a genetic predisposition. And a lot of people in my family are on statin drug medications. And the doctor prescribed that to me. I was like, I don't want to do that because it has so many side effects. But I had been a certified trainer nutritionist for like mad long. And I had read some studies that for some people, the ketogenic diet actually normalizes their cholesterol levels, which it sounds like it shouldn't, right? There's some about it that it does, right? And So I said, let me try this. Let me try to do it naturally instead of taking drugs, right? And I did it for a month, and then I went back, and he was like, "Yo, your shit is good now. You don't even need the drugs." Like, bet. So I just kept doing it. But what it was difficult like the first week or two, but then I got used to it, and I started to feel better.
Right.
You know, my skin was clear. You know what I'm saying? Like I had more energy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like, I might as well. I had always been telling people what I was doing, so I started doing it.
Yeah.
And then it's like it just became a thing. I said, man, I just changed my name to King Keto. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
legendary.
Yeah,
sure. I salute it.
And it's not for everybody. I'm not one of those guys say everybody needs to eat like this.
Yeah.
Nah, and, you know, some people die if they eat a peanut. Everybody's different, right? Everybody's
it worked for you.
It worked for me, and it might not work for other people. You know, there might be certain limitations, or some people might have the opposite effect, right?
Yeah.
You know, but for me, man, I just feel so much. I have so much more energy. My skin's clear. I ain't had a cold in like 8 years.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like not even a cold, like sniffle, nothing. My girl had COVID 3 times, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't take no precautions, right? I'm eating off her plate, you know what I'm saying? Kissing her in the mouth, having unprotected sex with her.
Got to do that.
And I ain't even test positive.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
That speaks volumes.
But there's studies that show it can increase your immune system.
Yeah. You know
what I'm saying? And yeah.
That's tough. My homie just sent me this the other day, and that reminded me to hit you like, oh damn, I'm supposed to bend this on with him. Can you break down the calculator of the women and the money and the goddamn, you understand me? Like that was, but it was real. You understand? The ratio to the money ratio.
I was just like, listen, man, you know, how many you got to think about, man, how many dates you going on with this girl and how much money it costs you. Let's say you do it for like a week, right? Then you say, okay, how many times did you smash? Right. You know, and then you can get like your cost per smash, right? So let's say you go on 3 dates with this girl. Let's say you in Miami, you spend, I don't know. I just use 200 as an example. I don't know.
That's lucky when you get 200 here.
200. Yeah. So you spend $600 on dates with this girl. You went on 3 dates with her, 200 apiece. You smash twice, man. That your cost per smash is 300.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Is it worth that 300 to keep her? Because when you keep her, it goes down because now you got to do so many days. Now you're just chilling, you get a smash all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You
is she worth that?
Ideally, the cost per smash should start going down over time.
What's the ideal number again?
You know, it depends on everybody's person. It depends on the individual, right? Because you know, I try not to throw out numbers because I feel like I'm so removed from like regular numbers.
Yeah.
Like I said some shit about on Fresh and Fit about $10,000 watch. And people were like, oh, that's too much. I was like, whoa. 10,000. That was like my cheapest shit. That was like I work out. That was the one. You know what I'm saying? For sure. I was like, oh, it's different. So
it's different. Bro.
You got to figure out what was.
You gotta know we want.
But you gotta. Once you have the data, you can make decisions based off data.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Different.
That's what it's about.
I see, man. You're a logical data.
Yeah.
So before we get up out here, man, what financial like mutagen you could give somebody today that could make them mutate their money to a all-time high if they did this thing right here you got for them?
Listen, man, the key to getting money, the key to getting rich, you make more money than you spend and invest the difference. And over a long enough period of time, you'll make money, right? So the more money that you can invest, you know, obviously the more money you'll make. And it depends on what you're investing in, right? What kind of returns you get. But on some basic, everybody can do. If you $2,000 a month in an index fund, S&P 500, right? $2,000 a month. The S&P 500 has an annual average return of about 10%, right? So if you did that every month for 20 years, you'd have $1 million, right? Now that's a long time, right?
You know, but
your
ass living anyway, bro. You spent $2,000 a month on some facts.
Right? Anybody can become a millionaire doing that if they're willing to do what it takes, right? So you know. You could work on the weekends, drive Uber on the weekends, you know what I'm saying? Get another job, side hustle or something, get and hustle up extra $2,000 a month. Like literally anyone can do that, man. Yeah. Like kids, I know kids making
Jewish kids, probably.
You know what I'm saying? No, I know black kids who like they hustling like legally making making an extra $2,000 a month or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can do it if you're willing to put in the work. And the things you want to invest in is either stock market, real estate, or your own business. That'll give you the most returns, but it's the highest risk.
Highest risk.
You know what I'm saying? It's the highest
your time too.
And your time and your sanity, right? So, but that's how I came up, man. You know, when I was working super hard, you know, I kept my expenses super low.
Yeah,
I kept my expenses super low for like a decade.
Is a key component. The
more
money you get, the more spend.
I didn't start really like flexing until like I had enough assets to pay for them.
Smart man.
Right. You know, so I invested in assets. Like I said, made more and spend, kept investing. And then I had money to start buying the Richard Mille. I had money to start buying the jewelry. But if you watch like my old YouTube, I've been on YouTube for like 12 years.
Yeah.
If you watch the old videos, man, Apple Watch, some Jordans, and some track pants.
So you waited to the
I wasn't flexing at all.
Yeah.
You know?
You waited till the investments and the assets was able to pay for the funds.
Yeah. That's what I did, right? And you know, I made my first million in my early 30s. It was a little less than 10 years of like, because I started doing this at 24 when my dad died, right? And anybody can do it, man.
Yeah.
Anybody can do. You just gotta make more money you spend and invest the difference.
That's a fact.
That's the key.
It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. That's
it,
right?
And that's you know, people want to tell you other shit, right? Because there's a course to sell on it. And I'm not casting aspersion on people who sell courses. I got mentorship programs, but on just some everyone can do.
Right.
Make more money than you spend and invest the difference. Man. So you got to really focus on the inputs and the outputs, right? You got to be cognizant of your spending. You know, but what I did is I ain't want to live like a bum.
Right.
I ain't want to be out clipping coupons.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just going to make so much more money.
More.
Yeah, and invest half of it. Right.
Makes
so that
sense.
was the thing, in half. So it's like, boom, I already got a haircut.
Right.
I already, you know, I got to make twice as much as I need, because I ain't want to be out here like living broke.
You gotta enjoy this. But
make your own coffee.
Yeah,
you know, no shit like that.
That's
you
too
know
goddamn. Yeah,
get the fuck out of here,
You're
man.
like, damn, like I get it. You want to be frugal to a point that you comfortable, because ain't nothing. Like I said, I've been there. I lost millions of dollars doing certain things, and my overhead was too big.
Yeah,
and I had to understand and make that adjustment, and I did. God is great for that, because I could have just went down to zero and been out there. But it's enjoyment along with the trophies. You know what I'm saying? But you want to be comfortable too, to a certain degree.
We not out here. You can, but just on some math shit, right? You can't save your way to prosperity, right?
No,
because you can only cut your expenses so much.
Facts.
Right? But the amount that you can make is infinite.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is how much I'm gonna spend. Boom. Instead of cutting my expenses, I'm going to increase the income, and but I had to increase the work ethic, right?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
More is the key.
Yeah. More.
Anything you want to leave them with, man? How to get in contact with you? Program? Anything you got going on currently?
Oh man, I don't really want to promote nothing, man. You know, it's like if you want to holler at me, man, it's King Keto on Instagram, KING KETO, YouTube. Just type Brandon Carter. It's the one with 1 million subscribers. Can't miss it. And those are the best ways to get in contact.
Oh, your last day about the TRT, because you open about that.
Yeah. Like
you tell me, I'm older. I had to get TRT. Man. So what's your thoughts on that?
Oh man, it's been a blessing for me, right? You know, it's for one, like Father Time is undefeated, right? So like the average male's testosterone starts to drop at around 25, right? That's when it's peak, and then it slowly drops, right? And you know, I got my testosterone tested at age 38, like right before I turned 39. I just noticed I didn't have the same vigor I usually have. I didn't have, you know, I still having sex. I was still working out and everything was fine, but it was just fine. Where before I felt like I felt like the man, and the only thing came back, my testosterone, it wasn't like super low. It was in the normal range, but it was at the low end of the normal range. Right. And the doctor was like, you can wait till this becomes a big problem in a few years, or we can just make sure it's never a problem. And I was like, what are the side effects? And there was a few side effects. The only one that seemed like a bigger deal was like, you had to come off it if you want to
have children.
And I was like, man, that's a positive. I should have been should have been on that shit. Man, I started taking that shit just for that. Facts. You know, so
they're right.
So I got on that, man, and immediately, man, I had more energy. You know, it improved my mood. I think if somebody's over 35, man, they should get their testosterone tested.
Most people think I've been on that. I'm not. I'm just pure organic still. But if I did, boy, I'd be like a Rodney Coleman.
Yeah, you know what, man? I didn't even gain a whole bunch more muscle.
You ninja turtle now.
Thank you. So I put on a few pounds of muscle over the last 3 years, you know, but really just more like the energy and the mental clarity, man. Right. And a lot of people ain't open about it. Like, it's difficult to see dudes in their 40s crushing it. Like, I'm just regular dudes. They don't even look like, but they're in their 40s. Yeah. Almost all the ones who are in their 40s really still crushing in business on it, because it gives you that drive back, you know.
But you never did like the real stuff, like the heavy stuff, steroids and all that?
Nah, I never did that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of videos where people speak otherwise, but what they don't understand is, man, it's like I've been tracking my calories and my diet, everything I eat every day for like 2 decades. Like there's a scale in my bag right now for my
you ain't
food,
playing, bro.
right? So it's like if anybody does that, they're gonna get results that are like abnormal, you know. And it's but I get it, you know. It's you do something that's extraordinary, then sometimes people it's difficult for them to believe. People don't believe my view is real. When I'm on Instagram Live, they be thinking it's a green screen.
I mean, everything is so
it's like they don't believe
you can't go off the internet, man.
So of course they're not gonna believe somebody actually tracked their macros for 20 years. You know?
Yeah, that's legendary. I never did it, and I probably never will, but I don't look bad on TRT. On steroids, I look at them like a bitch with a BBL, like because like women really don't like all that extra big ass goofy ass shit. Like you overdoing it for what? Like you overcompensating that you couldn't get naturally, bro. That's a mental problem. Yeah, and you shooting up drugs. Like what do you hold on, brother? Like what is that? You know, die from this heart bust. Like
listen, man. Everybody make their own decisions. Right. You know, I'm not here to judgment. You know what I'm saying? You know, nobody. It's real. It's more like it just depends on what your goals are. For me, it wouldn't have helped me because my target market didn't want to be like bodybuilders. You get what I'm saying? So like if you want to be a bodybuilder, if you want to win the Olympics, you got to do that.
Yeah, if you're doing that, like one of my good friends is King George. He's one of the best bodybuilders out there. I don't. If you bodybuilding, I get it.
It makes
your
sense.
job. Get
but
your
you're
money.
Just doing it just cause.
Even if you social media and they get you money, get your money. We risk our lives for less. Yeah. But if you just a regular schmegler in the gym and looking all goofball, hoped up for what? Like relax, brother. Like you know what I'm saying. I don't want you dying trying to impress. Because women ain't coming up to you. Or like your body's going to be a man. But unless you into that, God bless you. You know what I'm saying?
So like with those who, remember I said the normal range, those who take their shit like way above me. Yeah. So my shit is still in the normal range. And then, you know, I have my doctors looking at my vitals all the time.
Yeah, structure.
And it's structured. And man, I just feel so much better. Honestly, I'm going to be just real with you, man. I feel a million times
man,
better,
you ain't got no partnership with nobody like that. Because you be the perfect.
I don't, man.
Yeah, you need to find that. You know, they got a lot of them here in Miami. But other than that, man, hey, I appreciate you, dog.
Thank you,
like I said, man, you one of the reasons I came here because as soon as I came to Miami, I saw a top-level individual just congregating. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is how it is here. I need to come here. You know what I mean? Because I need to be around those same type of individuals.
For sure.
And I to see you in Boxer, and that kept me going like, okay, I made the right decision. Because that was a pivotal time in my life when I came back from Switzerland. I know what the I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I had my last like bag of money left, and I made that big leap of faith to come here.
That's what's
and
up.
God is great. And I put it all online, and it came back to me. And people gotta learn how to take risks. You know, believe in yourself is so key. And I just want people to know that. Like, don't be afraid to lose. Just be ambitious and have, you know what I'm saying, gratitude of the win. Like have it already, you know, completed in your mind. And that's how I live. So man, I appreciate you, man. Everybody out there, make sure you hit them up, follow them. Y'all probably already know them. We went in detail, had some fun, and it's giving you, you know, the organically speaking, you know, conversation.
For sure.
I'm about here, man. It's Mr. Organic. Remember, it's S.R.T.F. From the seed to the root to the tree to the fruit. We're going to keep it organic just like a planet. Plant a seed today. Don't wait till tomorrow. You want to let that irrigating goddamn get to that fruit now because you do the right process. You're going to understand how to get that seed out that fruit, do it again, and will come begging and they help you grow this fruit. Give them a seed and tell you weren't paying attention. You don't know how to do that? Too bad. Get the fuck away from me. The organic lifestyle. I'm about here.
So, thank you.